I spent the next 365 days being scared to death because of one of my beloved quotes from Eleanor Roosevelt. She said, well, do something every day that scares you. So I did. I'm like, oh, okay, I can do this. So I did. I took the next year to figure out how scary things could be, and I created my company and really spent the time to dig deep within myself and decide what is my purpose, what am I really here to do, what are my gifts and my talents, and how am I to serve others.
Now you said 365 days, okay.
Right.
Now did you leave your job?
Well, that's a very interesting story. Because as I made this revelation in the doorway of my office, I knew that for me, the corporate structure wasn't supporting where I needed to go to grow and to do. I was feeling constrained by structure, by timelines and project plans, and you have to do it this way because that's the way it's done. So I wrestled with that, and I wrestled with it hard. Every day I would go to work crying because I couldn't figure out where I was disconnected. I was craving creativity, expansion, yet my corporate life was very structured and stayed. So after about 3 months of tearful back and forth to work, and my husband thinking, oh gosh, is it midlife crisis? Are you having a nervous breakdown? Like, what do we need to do? And girlfriends thinking, Paula, what's the matter? And I'm like, I just don't think I can stay here anymore. I don't think this is the venue for me. And they're like, but this is 2008. It's the worst economy in the whole world. You can't change what you're doing. You're crazy. And I'm like, no, I need to. There's something I need to do. So finally on a Saturday, I was at my wit's end. I'm like, what else do? You call your mother. So my mother's in Florida, and I call my mom, fully expecting her to support and say, well, hon, I know this is the tough journey, but you have 3 kids, and your husband has his own building business, which is being affected by the economy. Sit tight and let's just ride this out. And she didn't say that.
Ooh.
She said to me, what is your gut telling you? What is your belly feeling like? And I said, Mom, my belly's feeling like it's time for me to go and make a leap. And she said, honey, follow your gut and the safety net will appear. So I hung up and I said, all right, Mom said so. So
it's okay.
I wrote my resignation letter, and that didn't feel so bad. I printed it out and read it out loud, and that didn't feel so bad, and I knew right then this was my journey. So I brought it into my boss, handed it over on the table. He looked at me, thinking I'm probably having a nervous breakdown, and said, why don't you keep this over the weekend, and we'll engage again on Monday, because I don't really think that you really want to take this step. And I'm like, oh, yes, I do, and I'm thoroughly standing in it. Thank you very much. So I gave my corporate notice, and I left my job, and that's how I came to spend the next year to really devote myself into a lot of deep thinking and time that it takes to figure out, after 50 years of not spending time on me, what do I like? I didn't even know how to answer that question.
Do you know how many women go through what I went through it too. Let's talk about your business, BeSpoke. Okay, when I first saw that, I thought, I'm sure that means something, but I don't know what. What does it mean?
Sure. So the definition, the traditional definition of the word bespoke, refers to an English tailor. Somebody that would make very custom suits, just to Marilyn, your length and your measurements, and it's the only suit that's going to fit you and nobody else. And the modern day definition of bespoke refers to programs or applications that are written for internal corporate use, not to be used externally to the customer. And when I saw the word, first of all, it just jumped off the page. And I have to tell you, the backstory to that was, when I decided that I'm going to go forward and I'm going to present myself as my own company, you have to have a company name. And I didn't want to just use my own name, Paula Jean Enterprises. I couldn't find, what's the name of the company? And I was driving myself crazy. I'd be driving in the car looking at billboards going, is that the name of the company? I'd be looking for signs going, I know it's going to pop out at me, but I couldn't find it. And I finally said, enough. I'm not even going to think about a name of a company. I'm done with it. It'll come to me. And I was reading in bed one night the Yankee magazine, and I turned the page, and I looked at the header of the article, but my eye was drawn to the middle of the page. I don't know why. And there was that little word bespoke. I'm like, oh, but it's so pretty, and it's round, and it's a B, and I like it. And I liked how it felt. And then I saw the definition. So for me, the work that I do embodies that, because it's all about the inside work. So the window dressing is how we present ourselves on the outside, but I want to go beyond that, and it's really about the inside work that we're doing, how you're going to grow yourself It's that personal development. It's being able to express yourself through your creativity, through your words, through your service to others. So the name just fit for me. So it was BeSpoke. And really what I talk about, it's the art of living life all in. What does that mean? And how do you live your life all in? Because again, I wanted to grow a line. I needed to connect with people so that I felt enriched and I knew that I had affected and served in a greater way for others. So BeSpoke is about the internal inside work that we do with ourselves that affects then how you live your life all in.
Wow. Give them a couple of tips or techniques, maybe.
Sure. So it's a journey. It's a process. I didn't come to decide on any one day, I'm changing my life, and my life went from where I was to where I am today overnight. It's a journey and it's a process. But don't be fearful of taking that step. It's the small incremental things that you do every day consistently that make the biggest change. So for me, I adopted a meditation practice. It was a way for me to carve out and say, you know what, 20 minutes a day, I'm going to take me time. Kids know mom's meditating. My husband knows when the door is closed, nobody interrupts me, and it's my centering time to just sit back and relax, decompress, gives me a better self, because when we take that time for ourselves, it's critical that we do, because then we can present more of us to serve our family, our friends, our jobs, whatever else we're doing. So find the things each day that you can do that make small changes in your life. The other thing is keep a journal. And I was never a journal person, but boy, what a wonderful tool and sense of comfort to be able to have a place to go to write your thoughts, your ideas, things that happened during the day, and to be able to go back and look and see, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, a year ago, this is what I was struggling with, or this is where I was, and look where I am today. I have changed. I have made an improvement in this area. I have done something different than what I've done in the past. I'd also say, take a risk. Get out of your comfort zone. It's okay. It's okay to stretch. It's okay to feel a little bit of discomfort, because that's where the challenge comes in. And when you rise to a challenge and an occasion, you grow, you expand. So it can be something small. For me, it was painting. I was afraid of the paintbrush. I just didn't know what was going to happen with that. And you don't want to see yourself as an adult as not mastering something or not being able to handle a task, but it doesn't have to be perfect. We are perfectly imperfect.
How wonderful.
And there's nobody that's perfect. So take it out and play with it. And take it as a plaything, not as a task that you do at the office. Be creative. Have fun with it. Life is meant to be happy. Have fun.